Hello, dear learners, and welcome to another journey of learning and discovery. Today, we will explore an important topic that touches every part of our lives. It is the idea of self-confidence and how building strong confidence can shape the way we think, act, and succeed. Confidence is not something people are born with. It is something we can learn, practice, and grow over time. When we believe in ourselves, we open doors that fear once kept closed. Confidence allows us to face challenges, try new things, and continue even when we fail. Without it, even the simplest goals may feel impossible. With it, even the biggest dreams feel possible. Self-confidence starts with small thoughts and grows with daily habits. For example, when you wake up and tell yourself, "I can handle today," you begin the morning with strength. This simple mindset changes the way you see problems. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," you begin to say, "I can try and I can learn." Every time you take action despite your doubts, your confidence grows a little more. Over time, these small steps create a strong foundation inside you. Many successful people began as ordinary individuals with many fears. The difference is that they practiced confidence until it became natural. In school or work, confidence is like a key that unlocks many opportunities. Imagine a student who never raises their hand in class because they fear being wrong. They stay quiet, they miss chances to learn, and their teacher may not even notice them. Now imagine another student who raises their hand even when unsure. Sometimes they make mistakes, but they also gain new knowledge and respect for their effort. Confidence does not mean always being right. It means being willing to try, to speak, and to act. In the workplace, confidence helps you share your ideas, lead projects, and face challenges with courage. Confidence also influences our relationships. When we believe in ourselves, we communicate better. We listen carefully, but we also express our opinions clearly. People respect us when they see we respect ourselves. A person with confidence is not arrogant. They do not think they are better than others. True confidence is quiet strength, not loud pride. It is about knowing your value while still treating others with kindness. This balance makes people trust you and enjoy your company. Without confidence, relationships often suffer because fear and insecurity create distance. Building confidence requires practice, and sometimes failure becomes the best teacher. Each time we fail, we have two choices. We can say, "I am not good enough," and give up. Or we can say, "This is a lesson, and I will try again." Positive self-talk is one of the strongest tools for confidence. When we replace negative thoughts with supportive ones, we change the way our brain reacts. For example, instead of saying, "I will never succeed," we can say, "I am still learning," and success takes time. These simple words have power. They shape the way we see ourselves and the world. Confidence also grows when we take care of our body and mind. Exercise, healthy food, enough sleep, and moments of rest all affect the way we feel about ourselves. A tired mind often creates fear and doubt, but a rested mind feels strong. A weak body feels insecure, but a healthy body supports courage. When we treat ourselves with care, our inner voice becomes kinder. Self-confidence is not just about thoughts. It is also about the energy we carry each day. Taking care of yourself is one of the strongest steps toward believing in yourself. Another way to build confidence is by setting and achieving small goals. Big dreams are important, but small goals give us daily victories. When you finish a task you planned, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each completed goal becomes a stone in the building of your confidence. Over time, the building grows taller and stronger. This process takes patience, but it works. People who wait for confidence before acting often wait forever. But people who act, even with fear, build the confidence they are looking for. Confidence is also connected to courage. It does not mean you are never afraid. It means you act even when you are afraid. A confident person understands that fear is natural but temporary. By taking action, fear becomes smaller, and courage becomes stronger. Think about learning a new language. At first, you may feel shy or embarrassed to speak, but each time you practice, even with mistakes, your confidence grows. Soon, what was once frightening becomes normal. Confidence in one area of life spreads to others, and slowly, it changes your whole character. When we look more deeply at the role of confidence in everyday life, we begin to see how it touches almost everything we do. It affects the way we walk into a room, the way we speak, the way we study, and even the way we dream. A confident person does not need to shout or demand attention. Instead, their calm presence and clear voice often make people listen naturally. This kind of presence is not built in one day. It is the result of practice, self-respect, and many small acts of courage that add up over time. Each moment we choose to trust ourselves, we are adding another layer to this invisible strength. Confidence also helps us handle criticism in a healthier way. Everyone, no matter how skilled or kind, will face negative comments at some point. Without confidence, criticism feels like an attack, and we may feel broken or defensive. But with confidence, we can listen, decide if the feedback is useful, and let go of what is unfair. Instead of thinking, "They are attacking me," a confident person thinks, "Maybe I can learn something from this." They also know that not all opinions are true. Confidence protects us from being controlled by the words of others. It gives us freedom to keep growing without fear of judgment. Another important part of confidence is the ability to make decisions. Many people struggle with choices, big or small, because they fear making mistakes. This fear often keeps them stuck, doing nothing, and missing opportunities. Confidence allows us to decide with clarity. Even if the choice is not perfect, we learn and move forward. In fact, making decisions is like training a muscle. The more we practice, the stronger it becomes. Confident people trust themselves enough to take responsibility for their actions, and this responsibility builds even more trust in themselves. Confidence also affects how we deal with failure. Everyone experiences failure, but not everyone reacts the same way. For some, failure feels like proof that they are not capable. For others, it becomes a step toward growth. Confidence helps us see failure as information, not as identity. It tells us, "You did not succeed this time, but you can improve and try again." Many great inventors, leaders, and artists failed many times before achieving success. The only reason they continued was because confidence pushed them to stand up again. Without confidence, failure feels final. With confidence, failure feels temporary. Let us also talk about how confidence influences learning. When we believe in our ability to grow, we take risks in education. We ask questions, we share ideas, and we practice without fear of mistakes. This is especially true when learning languages. Speaking a new language requires courage, because mistakes are guaranteed. A person without confidence stays silent, afraid of being wrong. A person with confidence speaks, learns from errors, and improves faster. Confidence creates a safe space inside us where mistakes are not shameful but helpful. This mindset transforms learning into an exciting journey rather than a stressful one. Sometimes people confuse confidence with arrogance. It is important to see the difference. Arrogance says, "I am better than others." Confidence says, "I respect myself, and I also respect others." Arrogance closes doors because people feel pushed away. Confidence opens doors because people feel welcomed. A truly confident person does not need to compare themselves all the time. They know their value, but they also recognize the value of others. This balance creates healthy relationships at home, at work, and in society. When people see genuine confidence, they often feel inspired to grow as well. One useful way to build confidence is through preparation. When you prepare well, your confidence rises naturally. Think about giving a presentation at school or work. If you stand in front of others without preparation, you feel nervous, your words may stumble, and your mind may freeze. But if you prepare, practice, and organize your thoughts, you walk in with more calm and control. Preparation is not only about knowledge, it is also about giving yourself permission to succeed. It tells your mind, I am ready, I can do this. Step by step, preparation builds inner trust, and trust creates confidence. Confidence is also linked to how we handle challenges outside our comfort zone. Many people prefer to stay where life feels safe, doing only what they already know. But true growth happens when we push ourselves beyond comfort. Each time we face a new situation, like traveling alone, starting a new course, or meeting new people, we feel nervous at first. But after we succeed, even in small ways, we gain confidence. These experiences remind us that we are stronger than we thought. Confidence grows when we step forward, even while our hands shake. In addition, confidence is strongly connected to communication. The way we use our voice, our eye contact, and our body language all show how we feel about ourselves. A person who looks down, speaks softly, and avoids eye contact may seem insecure. A person who looks up, speaks clearly, and uses open gestures sends the message of trust. This does not mean we must be perfect speakers, but it means we can practice small changes that make a big difference. Standing tall, breathing deeply, and using a clear voice are simple acts that grow confidence both inside and outside. Finally, confidence gives us freedom to dream bigger. When we doubt ourselves, our dreams shrink to match our fear. But when we trust ourselves, our dreams expand to match our potential. A confident mind says, "Why not me? Why not now?" This attitude turns possibilities into reality. It does not mean every dream will come true easily, but it means we will give ourselves the chance to try. Confidence makes life larger because it removes the chains of fear. It teaches us that we are capable of more than we imagine, and the only real limit is the one we accept in our minds. Another way to understand confidence is to look at how it grows in small, ordinary moments. Confidence is not always about standing on a stage or leading a big project. Sometimes it is about the little choices we make every day. It can be choosing to raise our hand in class, starting a conversation with a new colleague, or trying to solve a difficult problem instead of giving up. Each of these small acts builds strength inside us. We may not notice the change at first, but slowly we begin to feel more capable. Over time, these small steps create a strong foundation, and from that foundation, bigger acts of confidence become possible. Confidence is also connected to self-awareness. To be truly confident, we must understand our strengths and weaknesses. Many people think confidence means believing you can do everything, but this is not true. Real confidence means accepting that you cannot do everything, and that is fine. When you know your strengths, you can use them well. When you know your weaknesses, you can work on them or ask for help. This honesty with yourself prevents disappointment and builds realistic trust. Self-awareness makes confidence more stable, because it is based on truth, not on imagination. Another important aspect is self-care. Confidence is not only in the mind, but also in the body. When we take care of our health, eat balanced meals, sleep enough hours, and move our bodies, we feel more energy. This energy affects the way we think and act. A tired body often creates a tired mind, and a tired mind struggles to believe in itself. By caring for our physical needs, we give confidence a strong home. Even small habits like walking daily, drinking water, or practicing deep breathing can increase our inner strength. Taking care of ourselves is not selfish. It is the base that allows us to show up in life with confidence. Confidence also grows when we set and reach goals. Goals give us direction, and when we achieve them, we feel proud. But these goals do not need to be very big. Sometimes, even completing a small task brings a strong sense of progress. Imagine writing down a list of tasks for the day and checking them off one by one. With each check mark, your mind says, "I can do this." This creates a circle. Confidence helps you achieve goals, and achieving goals gives you more confidence. Over time, the circle becomes stronger, and your belief in yourself becomes natural. It is also important to notice the role of environment. Confidence is easier to build when we are surrounded by people who support us. Friends, teachers, family, or mentors who encourage us can make a huge difference. Their words remind us of our abilities when we forget them. On the other hand, if we are always around people who criticize or doubt us, our confidence suffers. This does not mean we must avoid all negative voices, but it means we must be careful about whose words we allow into our minds. Choosing a supportive environment is like giving water and sunlight to a growing plant. Without it, the plant struggles. With it, the plant grows strong. Confidence is also connected to resilience. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we face situations that feel too heavy. Without resilience, we break easily. With resilience, we bend, but we do not break. Confidence gives us resilience because it whispers, "You can handle this." Even when we are tired, even when the road is long, confidence tells us there is a way forward. This does not remove the pain or the struggle, but it gives us hope and energy to continue. Each time we survive a hard moment, our confidence becomes deeper, because now we have proof that we can stand strong. One powerful way to grow confidence is by helping others. When we support someone, teach them something, or simply listen with care, we discover that we have value. We see our strengths in action, and this builds trust in ourselves. Helping others also creates gratitude, and gratitude feeds confidence. It reminds us that our life has meaning, and that our presence can make a difference. Sometimes the fastest way to believe in yourself is to do something good for someone else. Confidence grows when we step outside of ourselves and share our abilities with the world. Another part of confidence is patience. Many people expect confidence to appear quickly, but real confidence takes time. It is like building a house. You cannot expect a complete home after one day of work. You must lay bricks slowly, one by one. The same is true with confidence. Each brave act, each honest reflection, each small success is a brick. Over time, the house of confidence becomes strong and safe. Patience is necessary, because without it, we may quit before the house is built. With patience, we trust the process and enjoy the progress, even if it feels slow. It is also important to talk about comparison. Many people lose confidence because they constantly compare themselves to others. They look at someone else's success and feel small. But confidence teaches us that comparison is not fair. Everyone has a different story, a different path, and a different speed. Just because someone runs faster does not mean you are failing. Confidence allows us to admire others without losing belief in ourselves. It reminds us that our journey is unique and that our progress is valuable, even if it looks different from someone else's progress. Finally, confidence is a choice. It is not something that appears by magic. Every day we choose whether to believe in ourselves or to doubt ourselves. We choose whether to speak or stay silent, whether to try or give up. These choices shape our character. When we choose confidence, even in small situations, we create a stronger version of ourselves. The more often we make this choice, the easier it becomes. Confidence is not a gift given to some and denied to others. It is a decision, a practice, and a way of living. And every person has the ability to grow it, step by step, day by day. Confidence also becomes stronger when we learn to speak kindly to ourselves. Many people carry negative voices in their heads, voices that say, "You are not good enough," or "You will fail." These voices often come from past experiences or from the words of others. But if we listen to them all the time, our confidence will slowly disappear. Instead, we need to practice positive self-talk. This means replacing those harsh words with gentle, supportive ones. For example, instead of saying, "I cannot do this," we can say, "I will try my best," and learn from the result. This small change in language has a big impact. The way we talk to ourselves becomes the way we believe in ourselves. Confidence grows stronger when our inner voice becomes our friend instead of our enemy. Another way to strengthen confidence is by preparing well for challenges. Imagine a student going into an exam without studying. That student will likely feel nervous and unsure. But a student who has studied regularly and practiced with questions will enter the exam room with calmness. Preparation creates trust because it gives us real reasons to believe in ourselves. Whether it is a school test, a job interview, or a public speech, preparation reduces fear and increases confidence. It shows us that success is not only about natural talent, but about consistent effort. By preparing carefully, we train both our mind and our heart to trust in our abilities. Confidence also improves when we learn to accept compliments. Many people feel uncomfortable when someone praises them. They may reply with doubt, saying things like, "It was nothing," or "I just got lucky." But when we reject compliments, we are also rejecting the chance to strengthen our confidence. Instead, we should learn to say, "Thank you," and believe that the praise is real. Accepting compliments does not make us proud or arrogant. It makes us balanced because we recognize the good things about ourselves without denying them. Each compliment is like a mirror that shows us a positive part of who we are. When we accept it, we allow that positive image to stay with us and increase our trust. It is also important to manage failure with wisdom. Failure is not the opposite of confidence. In fact, failure can become the teacher of confidence if we handle it well. When something does not work as planned, we may feel disappointed. But confidence says, "This is not the end. This is a lesson." Each failure gives us information about what to change, what to improve, and what to try differently. People who avoid failure at all costs often stay stuck because they never learn. People who face failure bravely, reflect on it, and try again, build deep and lasting confidence. They understand that failing does not make them weak, but continuing despite failure makes them strong. Confidence is also connected to the ability to set boundaries. Many people lose confidence because they say yes to everything, even when it hurts them. They fear rejection or conflict, so they allow others to take too much of their time and energy. But true confidence means respecting yourself enough to say no when needed. Setting boundaries is not rude. It is an act of self-respect. When you say, "I cannot do this right now," or "This is not healthy for me," you are protecting your peace. Confidence grows when we know our limits and communicate them clearly. By setting boundaries, we create a space where our confidence can live without being attacked or reduced by the demands of others. Another part of confidence is the ability to take risks. Without risk, life becomes safe, but small. Confidence encourages us to step into the unknown, even when we are not sure of the result. Taking a risk does not mean being careless. It means being brave enough to try something new. For example, applying for a job we really want, even if we are afraid of rejection, is a risk. Moving to a new place, starting a new project, or sharing our ideas in public are also risks. Each time we take a risk and survive, our confidence expands. We discover that fear is not the end, and uncertainty is not something to avoid. Instead, it is a chance to grow. Confidence also grows when we practice gratitude. Gratitude means focusing on the things we already have, instead of always thinking about what we lack. When we are grateful, we feel richer inside. This richness supports confidence because it reminds us of our achievements, our strengths, and our blessings. Each day, writing down 3 things we are grateful for can make a big difference. Over time, gratitude trains the brain to see possibilities instead of problems, and strengths instead of weaknesses. A grateful person often walks with confidence because they feel complete instead of empty. Another powerful factor is imagination. Confidence is not only about the past or the present, but also about how we see the future. When we imagine ourselves succeeding, our mind begins to believe it. This is called visualization. Athletes often use this technique. Before a race, they close their eyes and imagine running with strength, crossing the finish line and feeling the victory. This mental practice prepares their body and mind for real success. We can use the same method in daily life. Before a meeting, an exam, or a performance, we can imagine ourselves doing well. This positive image builds confidence and reduces fear, because our mind feels it has already experienced success. Confidence is also supported by continuous learning. The more knowledge and skills we gain, the more we trust in ourselves. Learning keeps us curious and flexible. It reminds us that we can always improve and that we are never stuck. When we read books, attend workshops, or practice new skills, we discover that growth is possible at any age. This discovery gives us courage to face challenges. Confidence does not mean knowing everything, but it means trusting in our ability to learn what we need when we need it. Continuous learning is like giving fuel to the fire of confidence. Without fuel, the fire dies. With fuel, it burns brightly. Confidence is also reflected in body language. The way we sit, stand, and move tells the world how we feel inside. A person who looks down, crosses their arms tightly, and avoids eye contact often appears unsure. But a person who stands tall, relaxes their shoulders, and looks others in the eye appears confident. This is not only about how others see us, but also about how we feel about ourselves. Research shows that changing our posture can influence our emotions. When we sit or stand with power, our brain feels stronger. Practicing confident body language can slowly make us feel more confident, even if we do not believe it at first. Our body can teach our mind, just as our mind teaches our body. Another point to remember is that confidence is not about being perfect. In fact, perfectionism often destroys confidence. People who try to be perfect in everything become prisoners of fear. They fear making mistakes, they fear being judged, and they fear not meeting impossible standards. True confidence accepts imperfection as part of life. It says, "I will do my best, but I do not need to be perfect." This freedom allows us to take action, enjoy the process, and learn from mistakes without shame. Confidence thrives in imperfection because it is real and human. When we let go of perfectionism, we open the door to growth and trust. Finally, confidence is a journey, not a destination. It is not something we reach once and then keep forever. It is something we build, protect, and grow every day. Some days we feel strong, other days we feel weak, and that is normal. Confidence is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. If we ignore it, it becomes weaker. But the good news is, it can always be rebuilt. No matter where we start, no matter how many doubts we have, confidence can grow. With patience, effort, and kindness to ourselves, we can create a life where trust in ourselves becomes natural, steady, and powerful. Confidence also becomes deeper when we connect with people who support us. The people around us influence the way we see ourselves. If we spend time with people who always criticize, judge, or make us feel small, our confidence becomes weak. But when we surround ourselves with people who encourage us, listen to us, and believe in us, our confidence grows stronger. This does not mean we need people to tell us we are perfect. It means we need people who remind us of our value and help us to grow. A good friend, a kind teacher, or a supportive family member can give us courage during hard times. Confidence is not built alone. It is built together with the people who lift us instead of pushing us down. Confidence also grows when we learn to help others. At first, it may seem strange to think that giving support to others makes us feel stronger. But when we share our skills, knowledge, or encouragement, we prove to ourselves that we have something valuable to offer. For example, teaching a younger student, helping a colleague at work, or volunteering in the community are ways to build confidence. When others benefit from what we know or what we do, we realize that our presence matters. This sense of usefulness adds strength to our belief in ourselves. Confidence is not only about what we take, but also about what we give. Another important factor is patience. Many people expect confidence to appear quickly, as if it is something we can switch on. But confidence does not grow overnight. It grows slowly, step by step, like a tree. A tree needs time to grow roots, to develop branches, and to become strong against storms. In the same way, our confidence needs time to become stable. We cannot expect ourselves to feel strong every day. Instead, we need to give ourselves the space to grow. Each small act of courage, each small success, and each small lesson builds the roots of confidence. Over time, these roots become strong enough to support us even when life is difficult. Confidence also becomes more real when we live with honesty. Pretending to be someone we are not may look like confidence, but inside it creates fear. We become afraid of being discovered or judged. True confidence means showing our real selves, even if we are not perfect. Honesty allows us to live with peace because we no longer need to hide. When we say what we mean, do what we believe, and live with integrity, our confidence becomes solid. People respect honesty, and they trust those who live in truth. That respect and trust reflect back on us, making us feel stronger. Confidence built on lies is weak, but confidence built on honesty lasts forever. Confidence is also connected to balance. Some people confuse confidence with arrogance. They think that to be confident means to always speak louder, always take control, or always show strength. But arrogance is different. Arrogance pushes others away, while confidence invites others closer. Confidence means respecting ourselves while respecting others too. It means knowing our value without needing to make others feel less. Balance is the key. A confident person can listen as well as speak, can lead as well as follow, and can shine without stealing the light from others. Confidence without balance is dangerous. but confidence with balance is powerful and kind. Another way to build confidence is by celebrating progress, not only success. Many people wait until they reach a big goal before they allow themselves to feel proud. But confidence grows when we also notice the small steps along the way. If someone is learning a language, for example, confidence grows not only when they speak fluently, but also when they understand a new word, finish a lesson, or try to speak in public for the first time. Each step is proof of growth. By celebrating these steps, we remind ourselves that progress is happening, and progress builds trust. Confidence does not wait until the end. It grows at every stage of the journey. Confidence also develops when we learn to face criticism wisely. No matter how good we are, there will always be people who criticize. Sometimes their words can hurt, and if we are not careful, they can damage our confidence. But criticism can also be useful if we know how to handle it. We need to ask ourselves, is this criticism meant to help me, or is it meant to hurt me? If it is helpful, we can use it as guidance to improve. If it is only negative without reason, we can let it go. Learning to separate useful advice from empty criticism protects our confidence. It shows us that our value is not decided by every opinion we hear. Our value is inside us, and confidence means protecting that value from harm. Confidence is also linked to self-care. When we take care of our bodies and minds, we show ourselves that we are important. Eating healthy food, getting enough sleep, exercising, and resting when needed are not luxuries. They are ways to protect and strengthen our confidence. A tired mind and body find it harder to feel strong. But when we are healthy and rested, we feel ready for challenges. Self-care is a foundation. Without it, confidence becomes shaky. With it, confidence becomes steady. Taking care of ourselves is not selfish. It is necessary if we want to live with strength and courage. Confidence also increases when we learn to focus on solutions instead of problems. Many people lose confidence because they spend too much time worrying about what went wrong. They repeat mistakes in their minds again and again. But confidence comes when we ask, "What can I do now?" Or, "How can I fix this?" This focus on action creates movement, and movement creates trust. We no longer stay stuck in fear or regret. Instead, we move forward, even with small steps. Solutions are not always easy, but the act of searching for them strengthens our belief that we can handle life. Confidence is not about avoiding problems. It is about facing them with the belief that we can find a way through. Another point is that confidence often grows through experiences outside our comfort zone. Comfort feels safe, but it does not challenge us. When we step outside our comfort zone, we meet fear, but we also meet growth. Each new experience adds to our story, and each story adds to our confidence. Traveling to a new place, learning a new skill, or meeting new people are examples of leaving the comfort zone. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but with time, we realize that we are capable of more than we thought. Confidence comes from discovering that the unknown is not something to fear, but something to explore. Confidence also becomes stronger when we practice forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. Carrying anger, guilt, or regret weakens us. It keeps us stuck in the past and makes us feel heavy inside. But forgiveness is like letting go of a weight. When we forgive ourselves for mistakes, we allow ourselves to grow. When we forgive others, we free our hearts from bitterness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm. It means choosing peace over pain. With forgiveness, we create space for confidence to live. A free heart has more courage than a heart full of anger. Finally, confidence is about trust. Trust in our journey, trust in our abilities, and trust in the future. Life will always bring challenges, but confidence tells us that we can face them. We may not always know how, and we may not always feel ready, but confidence is the quiet voice that says, "I can try." And when we try, we discover more strength than we imagined. Confidence is not a single moment. It is a lifelong practice. Each day we choose to believe in ourselves. Each day we take small steps forward. And each day we remind ourselves that we are capable. This steady trust builds a foundation for a strong, peaceful, and courageous life.